Then there are these anxious and fearful people, where they're hypersensitive to everything. Now, these are the people who tend to get respiratory problems. People with these are exactly the people who get allergies. These are people who get insomnias because everything is hypersensitive. I mean, even a soft cotton or wool is going to disturb them, and the same thing is reflected into their pathologies that they get. Hence, I'm saying the path of least resistance. Your mind and body are speaking the same language. Then there are the romantic ones, the ones who tend to fall into love very easily. And these are exactly the people who are, getting problems with their integrity, with their skin. It could be in terms of their severe eczemas, atopic dermatitis, it could be psoriasis and such. So many times the personality type defines the kind of problems that you may attract in the future.
What about sinuses?
Yeah, sinuses would be a hypersensitive reaction. I mean, sinuses could be, okay, it could be a deformity that you are perhaps born with, or it could be, you have three sinuses. So you have the frontal, you have the ethmoid, and you have the maxillary. So this is a hypersensitive reaction. And usually sinusitis, as we call it, or chronic sinusitis, is allergic in nature. These are the people who are hypersensitive.
Okay. I have an issue with sinuses since I'm sixth grade in elementary school, 12 years old.
That's exactly why you're doing podcasts. That's because you're hypersensitive. You're finding the knowledge.
Does it make sense now? You were telling me something about Stoyana. Is that okay if I use the real name?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I just spoke to her. I saw her, I think, 3 days ago. And her name is Stoyana Perkovic from Fruška Gora. A very interesting case, in fact. So she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis some 4 years ago. And she was a very interesting personality in the sense of we always try to classify people into the personality type. And she was the eccentric one, the artistic one. Although she was never trained in art, never formally trained in art, she was very fond of making sculptures and paintings. I mean, she was self-taught and, some kind of sensitive to the nature, eccentric, artistic, almost on the level of, being a genius. So when I was going through her case history, today she's 63 years old and she got rheumatoid arthritis 4 years ago and with severe deformity of joints. Of the digits of fingers. Now, can you imagine somebody who's a sculptor having deformed digits? So this was her original problem. And she came to me in 2025 with these issues. And she was obviously skeptic, is it going to work, not going to work? So I saw these things and I asked her about her life space, So she said that she has been through 2 marriages. Her first husband she met in Istanbul. She's a lady from Fruška Gora. See now how a homeopath thinks. She was in Istanbul. She met her first husband who was a Scottish man. Fell in love with him. They got married and they have the first child. So this starts giving me insights into it. Then obviously all that life space. And so after 2025, I saw her thermal state. She was a patient who was feeling very hot, drinking a lot of water. This eccentricity, this artistic nature without being formally trained. And, she was looking forward to becoming a big artist. So the remedy given to her was sulfur. Now, in homeopathy, sulfur is considered the rat philosopher. So he has a lot of philosophy, but that is not matching with actual practicalities of life. That's where the remedy gets disoriented. So they want to get somewhere, but the direction is not right. So this is exactly the problem she has, the autoimmune problems with the connective tissue because the connections are not proper. So after sulfur was given to her as a remedy, she came back in 2 months completely shocked. And she was like, Doc, my joints are almost 30% better. I said, obviously she still calls me a magician. I said, this is not magic, this is absolute science. And now she's been following the treatment for now more than a year and she's about 50% better. So much so that she had a studio and she was doing certain things in her studio, making sculptures. From Fruška Gora, now she's reached Florence. Now she's doing exhibitions in Rome, doing exhibitions in Florence, doing exhibitions all over the world. So much so that it was a dream to have an exhibition in France, in Paris, which she has rejected because she's so busy. So this is what actually homeopathy can do. I mean, if she would have gone to a conventional doctor, what would have happened? She would have got a immunosuppressant, she would have got some painkiller and steroids. Her symptoms could have been palliated, but do you think her artistic creativity could have exploded at this level? This is what homeopathy does. It's not only working at the level of your symptom, it is working at the level of your actual aura, your vibrations, everything opens up. That is what actual classical homeopathy does to you.
Amazing. Tell me, what are the most misconceptions about the homeopathy?
Yeah, so I think we discussed this briefly, that the misconceptions that are homeopathy is a placebo science, that homeopathy is very slow, it will take years for you to be out of your problem. I mean, just take the case of this lady, Mrs. Perkovich, and in 2 months it kick-started. So these are the common misconceptions that people face in homeopathic science or as homeopaths.
The one thing that come to my mind is that when you gave me the first time remedy, it was very small.
Oh, yeah.
And that made me suspicious until the next day, pretty much. So it was not definitely slow, but it was very small.
Yeah, I mean, we have this perception that bigger is better. I mean, homeopathy just works the other way. The best things in life come in the smallest of packages. I mean, if you look at the energy which can be created by a nuclear fission or nuclear fusion, it can destroy the world.
You see, when you say
atomic level,
short a while ago, it was just a compliment.
Of course. I mean, well, you look at some of the best athletes in the world, and you'll be surprised to find them not very tall people. The legends or the gods of any sport. Look at them.
No. Completely makes sense to my
Absolutely.
physics. What are then the most common patterns of disease that didn't exist before, but then we see them more and more and more today?